I heard about that in my initial reading was that I lived a third line life for the first 30 years, and that it was a completely necessary part of my process, although probably very uncomfortable, to which I said, uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Yes. Yeah, that really resonated with me too, because that first 30 years had been rough, had been tough. Yes. And yeah, a lot of trial and error, a lot of finding out what doesn't work. You know, I had that, you know, the one thing about the sixth line is the, you know, the period of promiscuousness, right? And then you get very particular, you know, after that. And it's like, no, 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 maybe. But, you know, I realized that during that time, I was still looking for the one, the soulmate, even during that, you know, well, it was the 60s and sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And I was in the midst of it, you know. And, but, you know, I never really, I wasn't like a victim of it. I was the one who was saying, you know, kind of like swiping. Nope, nope, nope. And of course, I wasn't in a place to even make that decision for myself. You know what I mean? I didn't love myself yet, right? And so even if I'd found like probably a really great guy, I wasn't in any position to kind of appreciate that, or I don't know. I just wasn't there yet. 6'2s are late bloomers. You know, it takes a long time. And, you know, I met my first husband when I was 19, and it did not work out. I mean, we got married when I was 21, and I had my first child at 23. And that's one thing I just, if I could have my life to do over, there's not much I would change, except I wish I could have done Landmark and met human design earlier so that my children could have benefited from, you know, a mother living her true self instead of one that was, you know, just an emotional basket case. Because I had panic attacks and stuff in my 20s, you know, and and that was just from, you know, all the stuff that had happened to me in the past. And I needed, you know, I had a lot of emotional baggage from those first 30 years. So I was, and in my first Saturn return, I finally kind of got enough self-confidence. You know, I really think it takes women to about age 30 to kind of fully become themselves. And that's what happened for me. You know, I finally could stand up to this husband that I had that was really awful. And, you know, I got out of that marriage at 34, which was, you know, I was 27 to 34, the 7-year process of the first Saturn return. And I got out of that, and, you know, life started to really get better after 30. And after 34, I remember Ross saying, okay, yeah, you have say it's around age 30, the actual date of your first Saturn return, right? But it's a 7-year process, and you don't know. You need time to, like, you're 34, 35, 36 years old to be able to look back and analyze what just happened, you know? and understand and get the benefit of that. And I really found that was true, you know?